Science Part 2, Lesson number 7, Introduction to Microbiology. In this chapter, we are learning about applied microbiology, industrial microbiology, and products. Now, let us start with applied microbiology. What is applied microbiology? It is nothing but study of the enzymes related to some prokaryotes. Okay, so enzymes from where we are getting from the prokaryotic microorganisms as well as eukaryotes. Okay, that means what? Prokaryotes and eukaryotes, you remember you have studied about the cell, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. That means what? The some cells which are having the cell membrane or cell wall, separate nuclear membrane, nucleus. Okay, that is all eukaryotes, and prokaryotes which do not have cell membrane. Okay, cell wall, etc. So prokaryotes as well as eukaryotic microorganisms. Okay, so these microorganisms gives us some enzymes. So study of the enzymes related to these microbes, proteins, applied genetics, molecular biology, etc. So all this is studied under the term applied microbiology. Okay, and applied microbiology is used for manufacturing various food products as well as medicines. With the help of these microorganisms, such products can be used on a large scale, and hence it is very useful for everybody. Okay, so that is about the applied microbiology, where you can use the enzymes of certain microorganisms, right? So the study is used for the society and for various products like foods, medicines are produced on large scale with the help of microorganisms. Okay, so that's why it is called applied microbiology. Next is industrial microbiology. So when microbiology is used for commercial purpose as well as for economic, social and environmental related process, then it is called as industrial microbiology. Okay, so here what we can say, it is a science which is related to commercial use of microbes in which various economic, social and environment related process and products are included. Okay, so some products which are related to the environment, social means what, to the useful to the human beings, as well as economically it is useful. Okay, so various microbial processes useful for this purpose is carried under industrial microbiology. Now, what are the main features here? First of all, various productions with the help of fermentation process takes place, like bread, cheese, wine, raw materials for chemicals, enzymes, nutrients, and medicines. All these are prepared under industrial microbiology. That is the first feature. Okay, and bread, you know, it is made by fermentation process. Cheese, wine, all this needs fermentation. Okay, because chemical reactions are there in this, and it has to be produced. Again, second, use of microbes, you know, solid waste management. In that we have studied microbes are necessary for garbage management and pollution control as well. So control the garbage, to control the pollution, again we need to know industrial microbiology. So these are the two types of microbiology: applied microbiology and industrial microbiology. Now let us learn what all products are formed. Okay, first dairy product, that is yogurt. You all know about dairy products. Okay, now in dairy products many things comes: milk, yogurt, butter, cheese, probiotics. Okay, so all these are there. Okay, so since ancient time, you know, milk we are using for making various products like cheese, butter, cream, kefir, yogurt, etc. Okay, so water content and acidity of the milk changes during formation of these products, and you know, texture, taste and flavor is also improved. So these processes are performed on a large scale. How it is performed on a large scale? By using skillful modern methods. Okay, so by preparing various milk products, what we can do, we can preserve the milk. Okay, we can preserve the milk for long duration, right? So again, we know butter. You might have seen butter. So in the PPT, you can see, okay, cheese, butter, cream, kefir, yogurt, all these are milk products. Okay, and they are useful. So while making these products, what is done? The water content is checked and acidity of the milk is changed. So due to this, what happens? Texture changes, the taste is changing, aroma is changing. Aroma means what? The smell or the fragrance, okay? And flavor, taste, all this changes. You know, the butter is having a particular taste, cheese is having different taste. Yes, if you'll take paneer, paneer is different, having different taste. So flavor is different, changing. Texture is different. So all the milk products are using lactobacilli bacteria. Okay. So in this, what you can say that all the milk products are very useful for health because it contains lactobacillus as a main useful microorganism. Okay. Now there is cheese. You know cheese. Which microorganism is used in cheese? Fungus. Okay, fungi is used there. Okay, cheese is produced by using the fungi. Okay, and the lactobacillus bacteria are used. Some bacteria in the milk are used for further processes. So in this way, we can use several useful microorganisms from dairy products itself. Okay, so these are some of the uses of microorganisms. Now, what are the basic processes done? First of all, pasteurization. Pasteurization of milk is done. That means what? You have to boil the milk to a very high temperature and immediately cool it. That is called pasteurization. Okay. Why we are doing this? To eradicate the harmful bacteria. Suppose if any harmful bacteria is present in the milk, that should be removed from the milk. So for that, what we are doing? Pasteurization of the milk. Okay. Later, what is done? Fermentation is done. Fermentation, how we can do? By using which useful microorganism called lactobacilli. Okay. And then in the lactose which is present in the sugar is converted into lactic acid. Okay. Once the lactic acid is getting, it gets coagulated. This we have studied in 9th standard. Coagulated, the milk proteins will coagulate and what is formed? It is converted to yogurt, right? So the taste and flavor will change. Okay, taste will be little sour and flavor will be also very, little different, right? So in this way, you can convert milk into yogurt. Now there is industrial production of milk. Sorry, of yogurt. Okay, now condensed milk powder is used, which is mixed with the milk, which is having more proteins, and then milk is boiled and cooled. Okay, and again along with lactobacillus, even 1:1 streptococcus thermophilus. Okay, that is also added. Now streptococcus is actually forming lactic acid and makes the protein to gel out, and yogurt becomes dense. Okay, if you want dense yogurt, you can do in this way. You can add little streptococcus along with lactobacillus. Okay. Now, lactobacilli helps in formation of acetaldehyde like compound. It is also a compound which gives particular sour taste to the yogurt. Okay. And yogurt, when if you're mixing with fruit juice, it imparts different flavors. For example, there is strawberry yogurt, banana yogurt, mango yogurt. That means what? You can even add fruits with yogurt and you can have in your diet. It is very healthy. Okay, and pasteurization itself increases the shelf life of yogurt. That means what? You can keep yogurt for many days without this. There will be no spoilage of yogurt by because you have boiled it and cooled the milk immediately. That means you have pasteurized the milk and its probiotic properties are preserved in it, so it will remain fresh for many days. Okay, so this is how yogurt is prepared. I hope everyone understood the importance of milk products, yogurt, cheese, butter, etc. Right? Moving to the next PPT, students. Okay. Now, regarding this one, I want to talk about cheese production. Okay, how cheese is made. Cheese is also a product of milk, but cheese is produced from cow's milk. Okay, by some microbiological test of milk, and some chemical test of milk is done. Right. So here again, milk turns sour. Okay, and what way, that is water in yogurt, is removed to make milk dense, and then protease enzyme from the fungi that is used at present to produce vegetarian cheese. If you want vegetarian cheese, okay, so then you can add protease enzyme. Then previously rennet enzyme from alimentary canal of cattle was used to make cheese. But cheese comes in two types, vegetarian cheese and non-vegetarian cheese. So whey is completely separated from yogurt. Okay. To summarize, how you can say that the what you can say, cheese is produced from the milk. Okay, so cutting the solid yogurt into pieces, and washing is done, rubbing is done, salt is added, then essential microbes is added, pigments, flavors are added, and finally cheese is pressed and cut into pieces and stored for ripening. So in this way the cheese is produced. So that is about the cheese. Now next we are going to probiotics. Okay, now what is this probiotics? Probiotics is again milk products containing active bacteria. Okay. There is active bacteria here called Lactobacillus acidophilus, Lactobacillus casei. Okay, and then Bifidobacterium bifidum. Okay. So all these form probiotics, and all these microbes, what they do, they helps in maintaining the intestinal bacteria, which helps in the digestion. Okay, so they also decrease the harmful bacteria. You like Clostridium is a harmful bacteria. So if you want to decrease the harmful bacteria, what you can add? You can use probiotics. Probiotic products. Which are the probiotic products? There is yogurt. Okay, then pickle of cabbage. Okay, that is also a probiotic product. Then dark chocolate, miso soup. Okay, corn syrup is a artificial sweeteners, foods, microalgae. Okay, chlorella, blue green algae. All these are probiotic products, right? So these products are very beneficial. Now in the PPT you can see the probiotics. Okay, the probiotic products. What are the benefits? Main benefits is that the colonies of this useful bacteria are formed in the alimentary canal. Okay. Okay, so in the alimentary canal, they are forming the colonies. The harmful microbes can be controlled by reducing their metabolic activities. Okay, so the probiotics will improve the resistance to fight against diseases. If you're suffering from any disease, that will be easily removed because of this probiotic. They will fight against the disease. And some harmful substances which are formed during this metabolic activities, that are also removed. Their bad effects are lowered due to this probiotics. Okay, so and again, useful bacteria, okay, that will become inactive and due to antibiotic treatment, and probiotic revitalize them by making them more active again, right? And probiotics are used even for the treatment of diarrhea. You might have heard about this disease, diarrhea. So there also we can use this probiotics. Even for poultry treatment, we can use this probiotics. So there are several uses of probiotics. Okay, so that is how the probiotics function. Okay, next you know about bread. Okay, there are different kinds of breads made from different types of cereals. Okay, so bread mainly it is made from flour. Okay, flour obtained from, what you can say, flour obtained from different cereals. Okay, so like you can say the wheat. Okay, from the duff of wheat you can make the flour. From several different cereals you can make. Okay, duff is made how? By mixing the yeast. Okay, baker's yeast. Very good, Ria. Okay, so even Saccharomyces cerevisiae, water, salt, and certain several other materials are also added. And yeast, what it does, it helps again in fermentation, and it will bring the conversion of sugar into carbon dioxide and ethanol. So the sugar can be converted into carbon dioxide and ethanol. And due to the carbon dioxide released, what happens to the bread? Bread will become very spongy. So there are two types of yeast, compressed yeast and uh, one more yeast is there, that is it will become more nutritious. Okay, so compressed yeast, in this what is done, carbohydrates are there, fats, proteins are there, many vitamins and minerals are there, and they are used for commercial bakery industry. And dry granular yeast is there, that is used for domestic use. Okay, so for cooking and all we can use this dry granular yeast powder. Okay, so products produced with yeast is very nutritive, very nutritious. And vinegar, soya sauce, you might have heard about all this. Okay, monosodium glutamate, that is Ajinomoto. Okay, so all these are produced by what? This microbial fermentation. So microbial fermentation is done. So in this way, you can use it, right? Now, vinegar production. Okay, vinegar is actually what? Acetic acid. Okay, what is the chemical formula of acetic acid? CH3COOH. So 4% acetic acid is called as actually vinegar. And what are the main uses of vinegar? It will impart sour taste to the food. The food will become sour in taste because of vinegar. Okay, and then we can preserve the pickles. We are making pickles. Okay, and then pickles, sauce, ketchup, chutneys, all these can be made, right, using the vinegar. Again, fermentation of fruit juices, maple syrup, sugar, molasses, starch of the roots, etc. With the help of this yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, okay, ethanol is obtained. So in this way, there are several uses of vinegar, right? So let us move to the PPT, students. So here I shown you in the PPT how a bottle of vinegar, right? Now vinegar, that is, I told you it is 4% acetic acid, right? And you know the about this it is nothing but it is a Aspergillus or oryzae. Okay, so mixture of certain strains of bacteria like Azotobacter, Glucanobacter. Okay, these all are mixed with ethanol for what? Microbial degradation, and acetic acid and certain products are obtained. Okay, so acetic acid is separated then from this mixture by rarefaction, and acetic acid is again bleached with the help of potassium ferrocyanide. So then it is what? Pasteurized, and finally small quantity of sulfur dioxide gas is also mixed. In this way vinegar is produced. Okay, soya sauce is also produced by the same method, fermentation of the mixture of flour. Which flour there we are using? Wheat or rice or soya bean flour. Okay, and there we can add this Aspergillus oryzae. Okay, so in this way we can even make several beverages. Beverages means what? Like coffee, cocoa, wine, cider, etc. Like from apple you can prepare cider, from grapes you can make wine. Okay, from the cafe arabica you can make coffee. Then there is Theobroma cacao, which is used for making cocoa powder. So you can have several what you can say, production of beverages here. Okay. Now next is about microbial enzymes, right? What is this microbial enzymes? The enzymes obtained by the activity of microbes are used in the industrial process. These microbial enzymes are better than the chemical catalyst. So what they do, they are working at very low temperature, low pressure and low pH. Okay, and the energy is saved in the process using these enzymes. There is no need of any separate erosion proof instruments for the process. Okay, for making these enzymes, you don't need any particular process. Okay, unnecessary byproducts are not formed during these reactions. Okay, and the purification is also not needed. Hence, expenses are very less on purification. Okay, and we can elimination and decomposition of waste material is also avoided while making this microbial enzymes, and they can be reused. That is the best thing. And these enzymes are very eco-friendly. Some examples are oxidoreductases, transferases, hydrolases, lyases, isomerases, and ligases. So these are the names of some enzymes. Okay, and so there are several industries which use microbial enzymes, right? Like in making detergents. You all know what are detergents. Okay, so for making detergents also we can use these enzymes. Okay, so detergents are used for cleaning the clothes, to remove the dirt from the clothes. Okay, and obtaining glucose and fructose syrup from corn's flour using enzymes of Bacilli and Streptomyces. So these are done in the industries. Again, for the cheese manufacture, plant extract in textile, leather industry, we can use these enzymes. Paper industries also use these enzymes. So there are several uses of this microbial enzymes. And some microorganisms are used also in the production of amino acids. Okay, and these amino acids are used for commercial products, making some commercial products like L-glutamic acid, okay, citric acid, gluconic acid, lactic acid, itaconic acid. So many acids, amino acids are there. These all are prepared by the action of certain microbes on some plant sources. Okay. Have you heard about xanthan gum? Okay, xanthan gum. Okay, it is a species which is used. There is a species called Xanthomonas. Okay, and that is used for making xanthan gum by fermentation of starch and molasses. And what is the property? It is useful due to what? Which property? Solubility in hot and cold water. Okay, it is easily soluble in hot and cold water with very high density. It is used for the production of pigments, fertilizers, weedicides, okay, certain textile pigments, toothpaste, high quality paper, etc. So these can be prepared using xanthan gum. Okay, so in this way we can, there are several uses of this xanthan gum, right? Next, which are the substances obtained by microbial processing? Like there is citric, malic acid, lactic acid, glutamic acid, and lysine. Okay, so niacin, natamycin, ascorbic acid. So all these are the nothing but substances which are obtained by the microbial processing. Okay, so these are given in tables. Anjali, no need to learn it, but just for information I shared with you, because some of the students are asking whether we should learn all these things. So these are certain substances, just for information I shared with you. And their uses are also given. You can read for your knowledge. From exam point of view, it will not be asked, right? So I hope Anjali, your doubt is clear. Okay. Okay, next we are moving to the next topic, that is antibiotics. What are antibiotics? Antibiotics are actually the medicines obtained from what? Different types of bacteria, fungi, by carrying several processes. Okay, so some diseases like human diseases are there, veterinary diseases. Veterinary diseases means what? The diseases of animals that can be controlled by using this antibiotic treatment. Now you might have heard about penicillin. Penicillin is an antibiotic. Okay, then there are certain other antibiotics like monobactam, bacitracin, erythromycin, gentamicin, streptomycin. So all these are the names of antibiotics which can be used. Okay. So let me share my PPT, students. Now, and in this PPT, you can see Saccharomyces yeast. Okay, so actually this Saccharomyces yeast is the use is nothing but it is ethanol and alcohol, which is a clean smokeless fuel that is obtained due to the fermentation of this Saccharomyces yeast. Okay, that is a main use of Saccharomyces yeast. Again, gaseous fuel methane can be obtained by microbial anaerobic decomposition of urban agricultural and industrial waste, right? And then you can also obtain hydrogen gas, which is a fuel of future. Okay, hydrogen gas is released during this biophotolysis of water, in which bacteria perform the photo reduction. So similar to fuels, various industrial chemicals are also produced due to this microbial process, like various alcohols, acetone, organic acid, fatty acids, polysaccharides. These all are useful as raw materials in chemical industry. So we can also use this as raw materials for plastic and food products. That is the importance of microbes in making and fuels, right? So that is a part of this what you can say, antibiotics. Okay, now next we can you can see biofuel. Next topic is about biofuel. Now you can see how the biofuel is produced. Okay, you can observe this pic. What is biofuel? Biofuel is nothing but it is important among the renewable source of good energy. Okay, so these fuels, how they are available in solid form, liquid form, as well as in gaseous form. In solid form, you can use this as coal, dung, crop residue. Okay, in liquid form, there are several vegetable oils, alcohols, and in gaseous form, gobar gas is there, coal gas is there. So all these fuels are easily available and in plenty of quantity it is available. Okay, so these are what reliable fuels for the future. Okay, so this is how biofuel production is done. Fine. So here you can see uh, the in the PPT you can see how the solar energy and carbon dioxide is mixed. Biomass conversion of cellulose to glucose takes place in the factory, and then from the biomass after harvesting, threshings, cellulose is obtained that is used in the factory. So conversion of cellulose is done to glucose. From that, sugar is obtained, and then liquid fuel production through fermentation takes place. Then biofuels are produced, which is used by vehicles, and carbon dioxide is evolved. Okay, so that is how it takes place. So that explanation is not needed. Only you have to remember what is biofuel. Fine. Next is modern landfill site. Okay, now this is a topic which is included in microbial pollution control. Okay, so here you can say that there are several solid waste, sewage and pollutants. It is increasing day by day. Several diseases are occurring worldwide, right? So many countries like India is one of the country facing this problem. So in the future generations will find it very difficult. Okay, so for that, let us see how the role of microorganisms can help in this in disposing the solid waste. Okay, how we can do by making the biogas plant as well as compost production. So in urban places like cities, okay, all the garbages are accumulated in tons. So how to dispose this? It is a serious problem. So for that, modern landfill site is made. Now you can see in the PPT how it is made. So there, what you have to do, you have to collect degradable waste, being whatever is accumulated in our cities, that is used. Okay, so large pits are dug in open spaces far away from residential area. Okay, so it should be in such a place where no houses and buildings are there. It should be very far away from your residential place. Okay, and these pits are lined with plastic sheets. Why? So that it can prevent against pollution of soil. So that's why it is having a plastic sheet due to leaching of toxic and harmful materials. Fine. So modern landfill, you can see in the PPT how the methane gas is coming out. Soil cover is a garbages are collected inside the pit. Okay, well, to monitor the groundwater level is shown. Processing on sewage, so all these things are shown here. Okay, so compressed waste, what you have to do, that you have to dump in the pit, and then you have to cover it with a layer of soil, sawdust, leafy waste, and specific biochemicals are also added in this. So all these things you can add, and then bioreactors are also mixed at some places, okay, which will help in microbial decomposition. And the microorganisms which are present in the soil and other top layer will decompose the waste. And completely filled pit is then sealed with soil slurry. So the pit will be covered with a soil slurry, and best quality compost is formed after few days. So this compost can be used as a fertilizer. Okay, so such landfilling sites can be reused after removal of compost. So in this way, you can use modern landfill site. Now, next topic is about how what is sewage management and clean technology, right? So in this, you know what is sewage management, how you can manage the sewage. So you know, in villages, sewages are disposed in the nearby soil or in the biogas plant. However, in cities, what it is done, it is done by particular processing unit and acted upon by microbial processes, right? So microorganisms can decompose any compound as well as destroy the pathogens. Like there are certain pathogens which can cause diseases called cholera, typhoid. So these pathogens are destroyed, and they're mixed with the sewage. They release some gases called methane gas, carbon dioxide gas. So all these gases are released by decomposition of carbon compounds which is present in the sewage. Okay. And phenol oxidizing bacteria decompose the xenobiotic chemicals present in the sewage. Okay. And the sludge will settle down in this process, which is used as what? Fertilizer. Even water is released during this microbial treatment. Okay. And some microorganisms are used for bioremediation of environment polluted due to sewage. So whatever pollution takes place, that has to be removed. So for that, some microorganisms are used. Now next is, what is clean technology? Now you know, human beings, they are very they are progressing day by day because of use of technology, right? So environmental pollution is also increasing in the same speed. So let us see how to control the air, water, soil pollution with the help of microorganisms. So there's a natural ability of decomposing the man-made chemicals. There are hydrocarbons, there are chemicals which can transform with the help of these abilities. So some microorganisms, what they will do, they will remove the sulfur from the fuel, and there are certain metals like copper metal, iron metal, zinc metal can leach into environment from low quality metalloids. So these are converted into what? Compounds before leaching with the help of thiobacilli and sulfobacilli. So that is called as clean technology. Okay, so that is about clean technology. Now next you can see in my PPT acidobacillus. Okay. Now acidobacillus, what it is used for, and where we can what is its main importance? You know, there are You must have seen in the news and all, dead fishes on or oily water accumulating at the sea coast. So why this happens? Because there is spilling of petroleum oil, okay, in the oceans. There are several reasons behind it. Spilling of oil. So this oil is actually very toxic, very fatal for the fishes, okay, for all the aquatic organisms. So it is not so easy to remove oil layer from this water. Okay, so there are certain bacteria used here, right? Like Pseudomonas spp and Alcanophorus borcumensis. Okay, so these are the used for because they are having the ability to destroy the pyridians and other chemicals. And these bacteria used to clear the oil spills. So that's why these are called as what? Hydrocarbonoclastic bacteria, or HCB. In short form, you can name it as HCB, because they decompose the hydrocarbons and bring about what? Reaction of carbon with oxygen. And what is formed? Carbon dioxide gas is formed, and water is also formed in this process. So even plastic bottles are formed from the chemical substance called polyethylene terephthalate polyester, PET. So in more urban garbage, you will mostly find plastic products, plastic bottles, plastic papers, and all these things. So many species, aquatic fishes, Vibrio, Ideonella, Sacchinesis. So these all things can decompose this PET. Okay, that is polyethylene terephthalate polyester. Similarly, there are species of fungi that is now just now I've shown you. Actinomyces, Streptomyces, Nocardia, Acetinoplanes. So these all are having the ability to even decompose rubber from the garbage. Okay, so these are certain organisms which can decompose the these plastics and rubber. So sulfuric acid is present. You know, when acid rain occurs, sulfuric acid is present in that, right? And materials coming out of mines, in that also you'll find sulfuric acid. So erosion of metals, during erosion of metals present in statues, bridges, and buildings occur due to this, right? So sulfuric acid is what? It is a source of energy for some species of bacteria like Acidophilium spp and Acidobacillus ferroxidans, right? And these bacteria can control what? Soil pollution due to acid rain. So that is the importance of Acidobacillus, right? So they will help in controlling what? Soil pollution. Okay. Again, there are certain salt of uranium, soluble salt of uranium, which is present in the garbages, okay, which is produced during electroplating process. And there are these effluents, these are released in the environment, and it is very what you can harmful. So you can use geobacter. Now there is geobacter. Now what is the use of geobacter? It will convert the salt of uranium into insoluble salt and thereby prevent those salt from mixing with groundwater sources. Because if this salt will mix with water sources, uranium is very toxic, harmful. So it should not get mixed with what? Water resources. So what we are doing, we can add this geobacter. Okay. And it will, what geobacter is doing? They are converting the salt of uranium into insoluble salts. And this way we can prevent these from mixing with groundwater sources. Okay. So that is its important. Now next we are studying about microbes, the use of microbes in farming. How microbes are useful for farming process. Okay, there are certain microorganisms, okay, containing inoculants which are produced by the process called fermentation. Okay, now these inoculants, how they are used? They are sprayed on seeds. Okay, the seeds which we are getting in the during the farming process, the seeds before sowing that seeds. Okay, you have to spray it with certain inoculants. Okay, so that these inoculants are released in the plants. And these microbes in the inoculants will help in what? Plant growth, because it is having lot of nutrition. It's like medicine for the plant. It will have tonic for the plant, which helps for the growth of the plant. Okay, because it supplies lot of nutrition. Okay, so that is called as microbial inoculant, and they can improve even the quality of the food. Vegetarian foods quality is improved. There is solution containing azotobacter and artificial nitrogenase, which is used in organic farming. Okay, and soil pollution, which is occurring due to the use of chemicals, that also can be prevented due to the use of this microbial inoculant. Okay. So there is fluoroacetamide like chemicals which are mixed with soil due to use of chemical pesticides in agriculture, and it is very fatal, which is very harmful for the plants and animals. It can even cause skin diseases to humans. So chemical fertilizers are maximum avoided. So these pesticides in the soil, what they can do, they can destroy, uh, these pesticides in the soil can be destroyed with the help of microbes. That's why we have to use microbes in farming. Microbes are very useful in the farming process. That is the importance of microbes in farming. So mainly microbial inoculant is used. Then we are having bioinsecticide. Now what is bioinsecticide? Now here, what is done? Bacterial and fungal toxins can destroy pests and pathogens. It can be directly integrated into plants with the help of biotechnology. You know, there are several bacteria and fungal toxins, and they will destroy all these pests. Okay, pests and pathogens which is present in the plants. So being toxic to insects, they do not consume the plant. Now you can see here a picture where caterpillar is feeding on leaf. So this will spoil the plant. So to avoid this, what you can use? Bioinsecticides. Okay. So when you will spray this bioinsecticide, the caterpillar will not consume the leaf. Similar to bacteria, some species of fungi and viruses are also useful as pesticides. So similarly, you can even use fungus and there are certain species of fungus and virus which can be used as biopesticide, like spinosad. Spinosad is also a byproduct of fermentation and can be used as biopesticide. Okay, so that is the importance of microbes in farming and bioinsecticide. Okay, so students, we have learned about the applied microbiology, as well as you studied about the industrial microbiology, wherein first, and then we went to the products, which are the products of microbiology, like dairy products, yogurt products, butter. Okay, then cheese. We have studied about cheese, then how it is produced, cheese production, right? Then we studied about the different, what you can say, probiotics, where the probiotics are used. Okay, then bread, how the bread is made. Okay, then vinegar production you studied. What are microbial enzymes, right? And then we went with the use of antibiotics, microbes and fuels, and then what is biofuel production, microbial pollution control, how you can use a modern landfill site, what is sewage management and clean technology, and what are microbial inoculants and bioinsecticide under the topic microbes and farming. So now I'm going to ask you certain questions which will help you to recollect the points. So students, you have to answer me few questions to which I'm going to ask. Fine.